1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Take a look who's coming down the track. Make way for James, hooray for James. A shiny paint with a jet black stack. Make way for James, hooray for James. What is for certain and we really should note, it's indisputable, but let's take a vote. He's the really splendid engine with a bright red coat.
Oh, James. James the Red Engine is the number 5 engine on the island of Sodor. He's a mixed traffic engine, which means he can pull both goods and passenger trains, although that doesn't mean he'll always want to. James is cocky, boastful, vain, stubborn, and most of all, very prideful, especially when it comes to his red paintwork. Despite all that, James is shown to have a caring side to him. He is normally hardworking, and like everyone else, wants to be responsible, reliable, and really useful on the Fat Controller's railway. Unlike most of the main characters, James didn't have an in-depth backstory or history to him. James is based on a Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway locomotive, a Class 28 060 mixed traffic tender engine. He first appeared in the second Railway series book, Thomas the Tank Engine. He was also first painted black at this point. In this story, James's brake blocks catch fire when he fails to stop his train of trucks and crashes into a field. Thomas comes to rescue him, James is repainted into the splendid red coat we all know and love, and the rest is history. This little introduction of James didn't seem like much at first. He was hardly a character in the story and was just kind of an NPC for it to work. He was kind of like this for the rest of the book series, to be honest. He is a core member that's very prominent, and has his fair share of fun stories here and there, but he doesn't contribute a whole lot in the grand scheme of the overarching plot. Little did we know, this character would become one of the main faces of the Thomas franchise. So why do I consider James to be the funnest character of the series? Well, it's pretty simple. Personality is where James shines the most. In the TV series, James really became a major player, getting multiple lead episodes to himself as well as big leads in most of the movies. Something that I really love that the TV series pushed with James is how prideful they made him. And nowhere is that more evident than with his relationship with Gordon. Gordon is the top Lake Express engine on the line, which makes him feel very important and prideful of his duty. James's ego makes him have a high opinion of himself, and it makes him want that same high prestige as Gordon. He secretly idolizes him and wants to be just like him.
I wish I were going with you, said James. I should love to pull the express and go flying along the line.
Only for him to be brought back down to earth. I feel like this says a lot about the type of character James is in the series. He's simply in denial of who he's supposed to be. He's very prideful, egotistical, thinks about nothing else but himself, and so desperately wants to maintain his reputation as the most splendid engine on the whole railway, when in reality, he's nothing special. I really like this personality trait. It shows how much of a poser James can be a lot of the time.
Here's James! Look at me. I am the smartest, most useful engine on the line.
I am the brightest red engine on the whole island of Sodor.
Make way for an important engine.
I will be the smartest engine on the whole island.
Look, aren't I a beautiful red? No wonder Sir Topham Hatt thinks I'm special.
I'm the fastest red engine on Sodor.
Another thing I like that they did with James is the characters he interacts with. James has some of the most fun dynamics in the series. He's always at his best when there's someone he can bounce his flamboyance off of. On top of fun James and Gordon episodes, which are always enjoyable since James never wins and Gordon always gets the last laugh, we get some silly hijinks between him and Percy, such as in Season 3's Percy, James, and the Fruitful Day, Season 6's Jack Frost.
Hello, James, muttered Percy icily. Scary Jack Frost, cried James.
And especially in the 2014 movie Tale of the Brave. We also got some fun stories between him and Thomas in the hit era, which are also very enjoyable since you're basically watching two idiots trying to one-up each other. In the same era, they also like pairing James up with Edward, another fun character clash. Usually when these two are paired up, James doesn't listen to Edward because he thinks he's old and pathetic, and usually ends up on the short end of the stick. Season 10's James the Second Best subverts that trope by having James try to act more like Edward. This is pretty neat, I like that one. In Season 18, in the CGI series, James interacted with Duck, which is also fun because their personalities conflict a lot with each other. James is vain and selfish, and Duck is more level-headed. These different mashups make for really fun stories, and I think those, coupled with James's personality, is what makes him a fun character to write for. I honestly can't think of any era of the show where James is really out of character. Everyone says his cockiness was dialed up to 100 in the CGI series, but I disagree. He's just as consistent there as he was in the model series. Not to mention, he has probably the biggest crash of his life. The only real bad James episode in this era that comes to mind for me is that stupid Big World one where he's a jerk to Philip for no reason. That was pretty dumb. Everything else was pretty good, in my opinion.
Mind you, I bet my shiny red paintwork does look splendid again.
James is one of the most consistent characters of the Thomas series. From his lovable jackass personality, to the many character dynamics he shares, from Gordon to Thomas to Percy, etc. James has had some of his best and most iconic moments in the whole show. He's just a really fun character, one that Thomas and Friends would not be the same without. This is James the Red Engine.
He's the really splendid engine. Shiny, shiny engine. He's a really splendid engine. Yep, that's our James. There's James.